on March 24th, 2023.
Oh.
Why are we doing that?
I don't know.
You should know, Chris.
I'm asking you.
It was on that day, you, as a Rams season ticket holder, received a letter from the chief operating officer of the Los Angeles Rams, Kevin Demoff, who I must tell everyone straight up is a good friend of mine.
Love those emails.
He and his family are awesome people. And Kevin Demoff, however, got a lot of heat for this letter because a lot of folks, including maybe the season ticket holder who's sitting in this room, felt like it was kind of a white flag being raised by an organization that had followed up their Super Bowl year with a 5-12 season in which the stars got hurt and the team's stars were being aged out, and it was time to start paying the salary cap credit card. And, Jalen Ramsey gets traded to the Miami Dolphins, and everyone's like, all right, what's up with that? And the letter essentially was talking about how, despite all of the moves that you were seeing in the 2022 season that they endured, they had every intention of competing for the NFC West and making, as Kevin wrote in the letter, a deep playoff run. And that change doesn't mean that we expect to take a step back. They have 11 draft picks in this year's draft, including 3 in the top 77. And a lot of folks were saying, oh, all right.
Okay.
It's an interesting CYA letter on March 24th. And here we are. Almost at December 24th. And the Los Angeles Rams are, in fact, making a run. And interestingly enough, making a run with 2 guys they drafted in the 5th round the last 2 years. So that letter was one big also in Les Snead, we trust, the general manager of the Los Angeles Rams. And look who ran for 1,000 yards this season. A milestone he reached last night with his 3rd consecutive 100-yard rushing game, 6th of the year. Kyron Williams, pick 164 of the 2022 draft, out of Notre Dame. And this guy, he is really good at the football. And he's the first 1,000-yard rusher the Rams have had since Todd Gurley did it. And nobody saw that one coming. Behind an offensive line that was so banged up last year, you can't even say the words banged up and really have a straight face. That's how bad it was. And Cooper Kupp started this year in injured reserve. Another reason why you thought the Rams weren't going to be in the mix this year. And look who had a night last night. Cooper Kupp? Nope. His name is Puka Nacua. Now, when Kevin Demoff sent out that letter on March 24th, he's talking about the top 77 picks. He should have talked about the top 177 picks because the 177th pick of the draft was this kid out of BYU. Another 5th rounder. Holy cow.
He's so good.
We were saying yesterday, Puka Nacua is Samoan for catches everything.
Yeah, always open.
I think it's always open.
Yeah, always open.
Always open.
Here's the deal. He's not always open. He just makes every catch.
He does.
He's unbelievable.
Catches everything.
He had
Runs guys over.
9 catches, targeted 11 times, one fewer than Cooper Kupp, 164 yards, and the first touchdown of the night, by the way, on a 4th down play. And then when the Rams needed to ice a game that the Saints suddenly had made a game in the 4th quarter, they do an end around with Kupp. I mean, that's how they won a Super Bowl. But with Nacua. And all behind a defense led by Aaron Donald, who is as good as ever, and an offense quarterbacked by a guy that everybody thought might be washed or didn't want to do it anymore. In Matthew Stafford, who, I must say this, the way he is slinging it, the way he is firing it, the way that he is playing, sidearming it, no looking it, going up top, he looks just like the Super Bowl year, straight up at you. Straight up at you. He looks as good as ever. And Calvin Johnson had his record Triple Crown year with him at the quarterback. Cooper Kupp had his record Triple Crown year with him at quarterback. And Puka Nacua is threatening rookie receiving records this year with him at quarterback. He is awesome. And McVay dialing it up. Look out. They have won every game since their bye, except for the overtime loss in Baltimore, where everybody thought they would just be the Washington Generals to the Ravens Globetrotters in the latest M&T Bank Stadium steamrolling of a non-division opponent. They lost that game in overtime, as we all know, on a walk-off punt. They gave the Ravens everything they could handle. They've won 4 in a row at home. They've won 5 of 6. They are 8-7.
Ballin'.
And they are going to the Giants next before finishing up at San Francisco, which we'll put a pin in at the moment. But for the moment, this is Sean McVay after the game about his quarterback. The guy who he went to, as we all know famously, he went to Mexico and ran into him, interestingly enough,
By
in
chance.
Cabo.
By chance.
And then the rest,
Cabo.
as we all know,
Hey, what
wound
you
up
doing
being
here?
history. Here he is.
Matthew's done a great job of, being able to distribute the ball, and I think he's playing as good as he's played, Sam. I mean, it's been outstanding. His leadership, he's feeling good, too. I mean, people don't understand how much he was pushing through with the thumb injury, but this guy is a stud. He elevates everybody, myself included, and, he's playing outstanding, and I wouldn't want anyone else in the world leading our team than him.
I love it.
Boom.
He's absolutely right. And Sam, I believe, is Farmer, if I'm not mistaken, of the Los Angeles Times. The only guy in the room at the Super Bowl commissioner press conference from day one of NFL Network to about 15 years later. The only one asking a question about when is there going to be a football team in Los Angeles, and everyone is laughing him out of the room.
Yep.
Now there's 2 of them there, and now it is an equivalency thanks to one particular world-famous athlete showing up last night. Just the latest example of what happens when you win in Los Angeles. The stars show up. Shohei Ohtani. Wearing, by the way, 17 is his number, but it just happens to be Puka Nacua's also.
Come on.
Showing up
That's so
in his New
disrespectful.
Balance shoes and his dad jeans
Yep.
and his members-only jacket or whatever it is, smiling. And yes, the Rams put it, it's Rams House, capitalizing the SHO. Rams House.
That's funny.
Okay.
Brockman making fun of his
It
dad
is
jeans.
on.
He had big dad energy yesterday.
It is on and cracking for the Los Angeles Rams right now.
Yep. Stars.
Now,
are
what
out.
does this mean? Because, we always talk about what we're seeing, what it means. What this means is, Kevin Demoff said, we're going for the NFC West title. That ship sailed. That's already the 49ers division. They have clinched it already, which means with the NFC East loser, we're assuming, is going to have more than 10 wins. We're assuming. And I think that's a safe assumption. So the 5 seed's out the door. But the 6 seed in the NFC playoffs, the team that is playing the best out of everybody who's been sniffing it for the last few weeks, in the hunt, if you will, or in the mix currently in a wild card spot. Because the Saints, in my mind, are now completely out of the wild card race. They better win their division. The Packers have suddenly taken a hit. The Falcons just lost in front of 3 people in Carolina. And the Seahawks just played really well, as we know, okay? But the Seahawks have been swept by the Rams. They're out if they're in a head-to-head with the Rams, who are currently in the 6th spot. And the Vikings, as we all know, with Big Nick energy, good luck to them to get to 10 wins. Because the Rams, I believe, are going to definitely have 9. They're going to go to New York next. All I'm saying is this. Detroit, steel yourself, gird yourself, whatever you need to do to get ready for a playoff game on Wild Card Weekend in your house, which you've been dreaming of for a very long time.
And they've earned it.
And they have earned it. Get ready for the one who's going to walk in the building to prevent a victory and a long playoff run that you've also been dreaming of and have earned the right to dream of it because you're real and it's a real deal. The person who's going to walk into that house is going to be Matthew Stafford. Because the Rams, I believe, will wind up as the 6th seed. the Lions will wind up as the 3 seed. And get ready for it. Is it possible the Lions wind up the 2 seed? Sure. Is it possible the Rams wind up the 7 seed? Yes. It's going to happen. And the sooner you get ready for it, I think the better. Because that's going to be weird. Because I know Lions fans are thinking, and the Lions themselves are like, we'll take off anybody's kneecap and whatever, and we're ready to go, and we're going to restore the roar. Oh, that's Matt Stafford walking in. Oh, okay. And obviously Goff has his own reasons to win that game of his own right. Yeah. That will be lit. And I proffer to say, what is that? Is that going to be the Monday Nighter to wrap up the weekend? I know the Cowboys might be involved in that super wild card weekend of some sort.
Saturday night.
Saturday night. I mean, Fox will be all over that like the proverbial rat on cheese unless it's possible, they get a Cowboys game, then, all bets are off. And then there's the Monday night window. All I'm saying is it's going to be in prime time, and it is going to be lit. Certainly if the Rams come in off of a win against the 49ers, which is where I would like to finish up this open of this program. Andrew Whitworth of Prime Video was in the house last night, and he was introduced to the fans who gave him a very nice ovation, and he even grabbed the microphone. Whose house? And he did the whole thing. He was here on Tuesday and said that the Rams have made themselves, after their Super Bowl win, in the same vision and style as the 49ers. You see some of the same, McVay and Shanahan are from the same coaching tree, right? Yeah. And so it makes sense, and you see what the division leader, if you will, or the team you need to beat in your division, you feel you need to get past in your division does, and you want to, fashion your roster to do this. And this being is beat them. You take a look at who has an opportunity to beat the 49ers in a, say, divisional playoff game. Who's going to go into their house and beat them? With all due respect, by the way, which means I'm about to be disrespectful to your Cowboys. Get out of here.
Didn't see that.
Do you think they're nervous about that? How about the Eagles? Do you think they would love to have the Eagles show up in divisional playoff weekend and just do, as Michael Irvin would say, give them a spank-a-lank-a-lanka?
Spank that.
The Lions are also some team that they might be, eager to have. I would say this. Out of every team that could walk into their house in divisional playoff weekend, the one team I think they would circle and identify is the team they don't want to see, is the one that's walking into their house in Week 18. And I think I've asked this question multiple times. If the Niners have a shot to knock the Rams down a peg or potentially even out of the tournament, would they, even if they've settled their 1-seed business, play their starters against the Rams or rest them? I think they play them. I think they play them, and I think they play them to the hilt, and I think they make sure the Rams don't make it. Because the way that this Rams team is playing right now, take a look at the way that they won the Super Bowl. Okay, with sort of a mixture at running back. Kyron Williams is not a mixture. And then you take a look at how they get Odell towards the end of the season because they knew they needed somebody to put on the other side of the field or on the same field as Cooper Kupp. How does Nakua look to you? And by the way, signed June 12th as a free agent, Demarcus Robinson, former Raven, and by the way, former Chief. You think the Chiefs would take him back right now? Because he catches the ball when it's thrown to him, with all due respect. Shoot, I should have said that in advance before being disrespectful. Hey, I'm just saying this. They look great, the Rams. And that March 24th letter from Kevin Demoff has aged like one of Stan Kroenke's fine wines, fine bottles of Screaming Eagle. And look out. Fair warning to Detroit, I believe they're coming. Wow.
What a game that could be.
And the 49ers have the Rams in their house Week 18. I think they're going to give them a game like it's do or die for them, too. I think that is the case. But I don't think it would knock the Rams out. I think it would just knock them down to the 7 seed, which I think the Cowboys or the Eagles would not really want the Rams to come in their house either playing this way because they are playing lights out. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.